person who is in a position, the person who is filling a certain role, has a certain responsibility that the person who doesn't.
Yeah.
So we can regard the person probably better. I think that we can actually regard them in the first place to say this person who is actually standing and filling that role in whatever capacity is doing something that nobody else can.
Yeah.
So we can actually, or we should actually pay them some kind of due respect. Abi?
Thank you, Abby.
Right. By the end of this week, you'll be speaking your pidgin or something at the very least. All right, so tuning in this morning, folks. Yes, so the question is, everybody's asking, where were we? You thought it was your radio. There was nothing wrong with your radio yesterday. So let us just assuage all of those, issues. There was nothing wrong with your radio yesterday. Health issues meant that we couldn't be here, but getting into it this morning. So we are here. So we do what? We move. Yes?
Right.
People tuned into the show this morning. Thank you for tuning in. So tell the people who decided not to tune in today to come. We are here. We are here having this conversation. Peter Kiaria is tuned in this morning and says, good morning from Mombasa. Never allow your emotions to overpower your what? To overpower your intelligence. Never allow your emotions to overpower your intelligence. Good morning.
Amazing.
Peter. Robert Mbogot says, good morning, tuning from Mombasa. Kao Nyambura says, good morning, you are back. Yes, we are. Great. Karibu Kabisa. Thank you for being here this morning. Antonina Kehika, what happened yesterday? Good morning, Paul Lesana, but we're here now. Rose Gray says, good morning from Menara. Baraka Tele Kwenyu Leo Asante Sana. Daudi Lubale says, good morning. With all this morning addiction in Spice FM live space, I'm not happy with how things are going nowadays. I'm very sorry. Sorry, Daudi. We will make sure that at the very least we will be here. Kicking, screaming, crawling, limping, we'll be here. Tuned in from Atiak, Uganda is Kisa Daniel. Karibu Sana. Isaac Ali said, I blinked yesterday and somehow politics sprinted past me like it was training for the Olympics. We only missed one day, but the headlines make it feel like I've been in exile. Sorry, but EVE, I don't know if we are going to apologize with a banner and fireworks or something. Raimtula Omar says, good morning. Tuning from Preston. What happened yesterday? We missed you guys. Paul Sana. Raimtula, you're too kind. Thank you very much every day for being here. Agola says good morning. But what happened yesterday? Okay, let me say it one more time. I'm very sorry. The weather had us then not, the weather conditions, health conditions had us away, so couldn't broadcast yesterday, but we are here now, and the love is felt for real, and just makes us realize that we must keep doing what we do and doing it well.
Yes.
For sure. Mulini Bosana, sorry. Pole bana. Erica Warren says, good morning, guys. Daudi, come at me. Do your Wi-Fi inakosa pin M-Pesa number to contribute, but don't ever go offline again when we are addicted to you the most.
Wow.
We've heard. Oh, in karaoke. Okay, we'll just read them. I honestly thought Jana was a glitch in the matrix when I couldn't find you guys off online. Karibuni, thank you. Sarah Kilonzi says, good morning, Team Spice. Good morning to you. David Mangara says, good morning, Team Spice. Jana kuliandaje kwani? You left us like destitutes. We were just roaming around, but glad to have you back. Brian Rono says, if you explain what happened yesterday, this is a toxic relationship. Wow, it's a toxic relationship. Boy. Christopher Thuku, don't worry. It's just getting into things. Sawa. So relax. Lillian Mongara says, good morning. Missed you yesterday. We missed being here as well. But thank you. Then for even that you tuned in and maybe not that you tuned in and didn't find anybody, but that you were worried about it. That is fantastic feedback. The sister says, good morning. Glad you're back. The addiction is real. It felt empty. We thank God you all look better. You here? You're looking better, Joe. You're looking better, Kevin.
Great. Thank you. Thank you.
Cyrus Singh says, good morning, Spice. What is the state of our education and SHA? Well, we'll see what we'll be told is the state. Yes. And then you can compare that with what you see to be the state and see if it fits. Right? Richard Ojera says, good morning to you, Spice. Tuned in from Mikindani in Mombasa. It's about cosmetic promises, nothing tangible. We'll see. Ahero Kisumu's tuned in, says Joe Botiano. Zach, okay, what happened yesterday? Just now, we are here. Fiery Red says, good morning, all. It wasn't just on my end. The show was offline, really, yesterday. Yeah, it was. But we're here now, Fiery Red. Richard Odera says, tell us what happened here yesterday. Were you all invited somewhere? Okay.
Right?
No. No, truth. We were just not here, but we were here. You get what I mean? Paul Ndete says, good morning. I swear Mbeere North is a Kevin Hart comedy special venue of late. My friend, Mbeere North, of people walking into other people's grandmothers' houses and being served tea by said grandmothers.
Yes.
My dear.
It's unfolding nicely, huh?
Very nicely.
It's quite comical.
Political connections.
But I wonder how these theatrics will end. I hope the Mbeere people can surprise us.
It would be interesting to see.
Yeah.
That even so then you want to ask yourselves that if what we are seeing is actually the state of things, then how did the people of Mbeere North then actually welcome and or perceive their most recent former member of parliament who is now at CS? Because if they're behaving this way, one would wonder. So how did y'all feel just 6 months ago when he was still your MP? If you've changed already.
Yeah, it's a dicey situation to watch because, again, remember, there are also other candidates. It's not just the two. You know, they're propping. You keep talking about psychological hacking is real.
Yeah.
There are other candidates. I think there are about 6.
There are.
About 6. But you see the prominence is being given to the DP, the Democratic Party, and the UDA.
And the UDA.
But we have Safina, we have, I forget the other name, but there are quite a number of other candidates. So I hope it can be now more when it comes to the ballot. Because the Mbeere people must remember
that there are other people.
Everybody who is camping there will be out of that place come 28th. And they'll be left with the person that will elect for themselves.
27th in the evening.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I hope the Mbeere people can go for the right person whom they'll be with for the next 1 year, whom they want to be their representative in the National Assembly.
Indeed.
Ndujo, for me, actually looking at just the state of the nation and the state of the politics, and then you mentioned the grandmother's, house. And I look at the condition of the house. In 2025, we are talking devolved governments. We are talking service delivery. We are talking about many things that really need to bother the political leadership.
Right.
But interestingly, even if you listen to the, their narratives around the politics, basically what they want to do, you don't get a sense that really drives you into getting the grandmother out of, quote unquote, the kind of suffering that is portrayed by what we see, because that what you see really speaks about a lot of things, particularly in our country. So beyond the 27th, I'll begin to look at, we have given you the office. So what
next?
Yeah, what next?
And you see, the poverty index, as you say, Kevin, is not part of the discussion.
No.
You know, people are just there with goodies, tokenism, and trying to outshine one another. Unfortunately, even the government machinery itself, because I don't think it is constitutionally correct.
It isn't.
To have the CS out campaigning.
It shouldn't
have the
be.
deputy president out campaigning.
I don't know if you remember,
Right.
but some of the voices who are currently campaigning were some of the voices who, when Uhuru Kenyatta was still president, were saying you should not actually be using government resources and in government positions to be out there campaigning. Pot kettle black situation.
I'm aware to that. So let's see. And there's an interesting character there. His name is Lawrence Ireri. He campaigns on a bicycle. He's a candidate.
Yes, he is.
I hope that's the Safina Party candidate.
We hope that people are seeing.
People are seeing and they do the right thing.
All right, quickly through some more greetings this morning. Somebody calling himself Must Go says, Kaongo says that we need 4 trillion shillings for us to be a first world country. It's a conversation that we will be having this morning, so let's see what it actually takes. Rogers Nyange says, good morning from Voi. Atieno Hamjamboni from a steaming hot Kilifi. Send us some rain. There was an artist in the 90s in Nigeria called Majek Fashek. There was a song that he sang about send us some rain. He was talking about other things in the economy, but just reminded me of that. The Kikombe says, good morning. When you hear of billions unaccounted for, focus and picture this fact. If you buy a 200,000 shilling iPhone every month, you'll keep upgrading for 416 years before you hit 1 billion shillings. Focus on 1 billion. Donge. Focus, that's 1 billion. I love those because that helps us see things in some great perspective. Pan-African Kenyan says, good morning from Nairobi. Perps Carey says, good morning, glad to have you back. Yesterday we felt homeless. Oi, these destitute, motherless children. Sorry, Bas, we're here, guys. Churchy. No, and I say that, of course, in jest, but, we hear it for sure. Chechi says, please don't delete our concerns whenever we post them here. I don't know that anything was deleted, but okay. John Courier says, good morning, Spice, tuning from Qatar. And Angel China says, today was my first day at my home. I woke up searching for spice. Big up to my wife, Eve Akora. Okay, good morning to you. Christopher Thuku says, Sawa Sawa, I just had PTSD from Jana. Glad you all are back and better. Tune in from Boston, Massachusetts. Thank you so much, Christopher. Bwangi Juma says, first-class country has the 3 broad qualities: economic stability and prosperity, infrastructure, and public service. Is Kenya even smelling any of these? Well, we'll talk about that. Mashari and Jerry says, good morning, Team Spice. I kept moving from YouTube to X. I was heartbroken into, I'm sorry. So now we can put some soothing balm on your heart and we can get back into things this morning.
Pole sana.
Kennedy Ongwai says, good morning. Nilidhani tumezimiwa baada ya interview ya Robo on Tuesday. Hapana. Hillary says, Moses from Machakos, you almost made me uninstall YouTube thinking there was a glitch on my side. Good morning, all. Into your hairstyle is on point. Asante sana. It's real. People say that it is real, every inch of it. Margaret Gavoni, missed you, Jana. Asante sana. What really happened? Sickness does the thing on you guys sometimes. Dennis Mramba says, good morning. You're Dennis Mwargo from Mwakirunge. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Where is Mwakirunge? Very interesting. Where is that? But thank you for tuning in. Mwakirunge. Yeah, think about that. Where is Mwakirunge? Janie Nemo says, good morning, guys. Again, I thought it was a Cybercrimes Act that did a number on us. We're here. My prince says, good morning. Why didn't IEBC fine Homa Bay County? They accused them of electoral malpractice too. Yeah, IEBC was looking for money. This is interesting. IEBC was looking for money for elections because they said maybe there will not be enough. So they fined some people yesterday, 1 million, at least 2 million shillings in the bank. Contribute to the missing, the kitty that's not yet full enough.
Yeah, the revenue is a source of revenue.
Exactly. Right? So be careful what you say. Good funding IEBC. I missed you early yesterday. I'm glad you're back, says Mukohu Waere. Thank you so much. Kenya, good morning. Laivasha Ikolokt. Mbiu says, good morning. Another day to keep the hustle going. Kabisa. Mtuflani says, Kumbe, the situation room is like crack. Huh? Jana, I was just scratching and fidgeting. Ooh wee. This is the kind of crack. We like this kind of crack. It's what we do, these things, guys. Thank you for being just at least keeping us righteous to make sure that you know what's going on. We'll have the conversations, and this is a good addiction. Let's make sure that we keep delivering these particular drugs to keep the addiction going.
Yeah.
We'll keep it nice and spicy.
Kabisa. Yes. Kabisa. All right. So let's look into the headlines this morning, and I'll start off in the Standard, Kenya's bold newspaper. Real states of nation. Kenyans have spoken. They do not need another ritual of promises. They need a state of the nation that starts where the life is actually lived. In the insecurity, the hunger, the shuttered services, and the daily grind of 13 million households. Until leaders speak to that honest, painful baseline, every grand vision remains just another speech drifting above a struggling nation. And going by past rhetoric, it could be another session of oratory full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
Wow.
This is what people anticipate that Sona will be today. But let's look at what matters according to this headline. Public finances. People worry that fiscal consolidation means more taxes, higher service fees, and new levies. The central question is whether more financial pain is coming. Corruption. A credible State of the Nation account must admit the scale of corruption and outline measurable reductions. Anti-corruption talk about candor lacks legitimacy. Devolution. Confusion over national versus county roles continues to affect access to services. Effective devolution should ensure Kenyans get services without needing to navigate government bureaucracy. The economy. The public is focused on jobs, incomes, wealth, opportunities, and the soaring cost of living. Infrastructure talk carries little weight without relief from rising food and household expenses. Security. Kenyans want honesty. about crime, terrorism, cybercrime, illicit trade, banditry, and everyday safety. They expect a realistic plan to reduce fear and insecurity in public and private spaces. Household. The true measure of national progress lies in household well-being, food security, basic rights, income opportunities, participation in governance, and access to safety and justice. Governance and service delivery. Despite digital platforms like e-citizen, bribery, inefficiency, and slow services persist, citizens want real improvements in service delivery, not just new payment systems. Like this one doesn't work because it's got a hole in it because of corruption. Okay, ditch that, bring another one. Fix it. So let's have it work.
Precisely.
So we'll be asking the questions around whether the state of the nation is what is seen by the president and the presidency, or should the state of the nation be what Kenyans are experiencing, not just what they're saying, but what they're experiencing every day, and then what the presidency, government, wants to do about it. What should the state of the nation be? So that's a headline that carries in most of it. It's going into stories on page 2 and 3, talking about Kenyans worse off despite Ruto's loud promises, what teachers are expecting. Looking into some other headlines as well. Unmet pledges pile up as Ruto delivers his third SONA. And again, looking into more, People's First National Address starts by tackling household basic needs. Ruto democracy pledge under fire amid violations. And Kenyans are saying that SHA is still not meeting expectations. The Senate proceedings yesterday had one Nairobi Senator, Edwin Sifuna, say, come on, guys. The president told us himself, if you go to hospital and you're being asked to pay a bill, don't even report to the police. Call me. So the senator said, then do we give his number? Because many Kenyans need to call him.
Yeah.
Many Kenyans are still in a situation where they're registered for SHA, but it's not paying their bills.
And by the way,
the saddest part of it is that such pronouncements, for me, they confirm how aware he is of the incompetence of his people and how the system is running is not working. Because at what point do you say, if my people don't serve you as they should according to the law, call me? That should not be a provision in law. You know,
and I'm just wondering, because you see, in certain jurisdictions, when the president or the head of that particular jurisdiction says, call me, the call should be effective, so that the president's number should be public, so that any official's number should be public, and that you can actually be able to call. But I think the kind of arena that we are playing within is one of disbelief, lots of unfulfilled promises, and it appears as if it's like a joke. Like, call me, you know.
Because I know you're not going to call me.
Yeah.
And I know that even if you tried to call me, you will not be able to get through.
Exactly.
Or even if the number that you're given goes to some dial-up box somewhere.
Yeah.
Because it's a joke.
It is.
People, and I keep saying, if somebody tells you something over and over again, believe them. Believe what it is that they're telling you. By the mere mention of the fact that the president had to say, if you go, then call me, that means he is aware that there will be a problem. So you've already offered an interim solution by calling me.
Yeah.
So you know that the possibility of somebody going to hospital and not getting their bills paid is real.
Yeah.
So how about you deal with that problem?
Before
we
talk about planning, mitigation, you know, before we roll out all these nice sounding policies, there has to be, the core has to be, how is it going to serve the normal Kenyan? You know, the recipient of this service, how is it going to be, provided to them comfortably and in quality? We don't need to have these loopholes whereby we are saying, no, if it doesn't work, tell them the president said I should not pay. Tell them the president said you should call me.
You tell me.
That's not the system.
You tell me you are in hospital in Mama Lucy.
Yes.
Yeah,
then you're being discharged.
Yeah.
Then the person at the front desk on your discharge says, Bill, we've paid 12,000. The rest of your bill is 86,000. Then you say, no.
Call the president.
Call the president.
Call the president.
You tell me how you think that's going to play out.
And you know there are so many young mothers who had newborns. I think for the last 3 months we've seen them in various hospitals where they were being held because of unpaid bills.
Nominated Senator Karen Nyamu
Right.
tells us that the reason why those ones are still being held in hospitals is because they are not SHA registered. That's why all of them who were held in hospital were not registered by SHA. Take that with a bucket of salt.
It's a problem. And the essence of a government in place is really to make the lives of the people better. Yeah. And it's quite unfortunate that we keep talking about these very important issues in our country, but it's as if the leadership or the political class is on their own.
Yeah.
And Kenyans are on their own. And especially in the era of, elections, by-elections, and the upcoming election is an opportunity for the people now to look at who our leaders, true leaders are.
Niseme.
Therefore, yeah.
Niseme.
Sema.
The state of the nation. We are talking about the state of the nation.
Sema.
They don't regard. To care, I must regard you.
Okay.
They don't. Do you think that in the minds of those who are making such statements, that they're waking up on a Thursday morning imagining that there's a woman somewhere who's just been delivered of her baby and she's got other children at home who've not fed? Thank God they're on holiday now, but if they were in school, she's not sure how they're going to go to school, what little they need to pay for school fees they've been able to pay. Do you really think that upgrading the livelihood of such a person and making sure that all that they need to survive is top of mind of those individuals? Niseme ama nisiseme?
Sema.
Do you really state?
Yes, state.
Do you really think that the person that we talk about, those people in Mandera who are waiting for water to seep out of the ground so that they can fetch it, and like I keep saying, it's the color of that wall, this water, seep out of the ground, not a community tap, not a dam, not a borehole, seep out of the ground after walking for hours so that they can fetch the water? Do you really think that person is top of mind of the people who don't even know the cost of a packet of milk, save for what somebody tells them? Do you think that that's what they're thinking about, or who they're thinking about?
Very, very unfortunate. It's a sad state of the nation.
That's the state.
Yeah, it's a sad state of the nation. And it's a call to our leaders, really. It's a call to the people who are given the sovereignty of the people to safeguard, and therefore, as Ndu says, to even regard what it is that the citizens are expecting. And it's a very sad state of the nation. Joe?
Yeah, I do agree. And as Kenyans, we must know. And I think we have to continue stating until the statement is well stated that we form a government in Kenya so that it can serve us. We form a government as Kenyans so it can serve us. So we don't need to have varying narratives that this government is working, and yet we, the people, know and feel it is not working accordingly. If they say it is working, for who? For whom is it working? Because definitely it is not for us. So we form a government. Therefore, let's do the right thing. State whatever is not working in your county, whatever is not working in this country, we should state it so that the statement can be well stated, and we, the statesmen, can take charge. This is our country. We have nowhere else to go. And if we need people in Marsabit to have sufficient clean water, if we need people in Narok to have food, if we need people in Kwale to have security, if we need people in Marsabit to feel safe, it doesn't take rocket science. It just takes good governance.
Come on.
And those people that we have put there to serve us, we have employed them. I keep reminding Kenyans that even if you're unemployed today, you have an employee called the president, because you do pay him. Either in advance, through debts, or through taxation. That is your employee. When your employee is not doing what they should be doing, please, there is nothing to think about. We change that until we get it right.
You see me sitting in this chair, people who come to work on a daily basis, they say this is your job description.
Right.
You're supposed to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you know I can come to work every day and I'll just be telling you, Kevin, you know what?
It's working.
I'm working. Okay, very good. Then I go home. Then I come and I say, Joe, you know what? Tomorrow. By the time you come tomorrow, I would have done 1, 2, 3. Then I go. Then tomorrow we come. EVE, you did tomorrow. Don't you think that by Friday like this, somebody who sits in HR, somebody who sits in quality will ask, Excuse me.
What did you say again you are doing?
That's why they put you on that thing, probation. Then after that, they put you on PIP.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when they see that things are not working, you get out.
Yeah.
No question. But somehow we seem to think that it should be different.
Especially
I'm
for
just saying.
For a governance that a government that has some seemingly strong governance systems. Like you talk about the delivery units, both for the national government and the county governments, and domiciled at the office of the president. What do they tell the president about the nation? What do they tell him about SHA? What do they really tell him about the education?
That's a good question, actually.
What do those people who use the same roads like we do, and I imagine they walk to the same health facilities like we do, what really do they tell the president? Of course, some people, I have a few friends there who say, but he doesn't listen to us. So leave. Yep. And like Ndu is saying, before the HR catches up, be the HR of the people. And say, by there I was there, and it doesn't work. These things that we write every day, they are not true and they are not what we see. Because otherwise, it's going to be a cyclic venture.
It's why I'm more inclined to agree with those who advocate for constitutionalism. That people should grow up, gobble, ingest, imbibe, live what the supreme law of the land says. Because if you do, then what comes out of your mouth is a demand for the thing that the law says to be done, and that you will not stomach anything else. We do what the law says. If you're not doing what the law says, we stand on the road until you do, or until you go.
I was shocked, just having some banter, and then a conversation came up. How Kenyans get angry when a conductor decides to hike bus fare. Going home, it's supposed to be 80 bob, and then he says it's 100 now, whether it's because of traffic or rain or whatever. Kenyans become livid.
At that
so
point.
Angry at that point. Hatulipi. And they even may refuse to board.
Yes.
But we pay taxes. 400 billion KRA collects. Thereabout. When it is misappropriated, we don't complain. We don't get angry enough. So how are we not able to relate
to this? Let me give you another example, because I know you need to look into the nation.
Right.
Just last week, the folks who were boarding the SGR to Mombasa, there was a gentleman who got onto the train and he was inebriated, understood.
Yes.
And apparently you're not allowed to carry on alcohol or drinks onto the train. But he said, I bought this alcohol in your station where it tells me that I can buy, come in. The police came in, the people of the whatever said they wanted to remove him. In his right, he was correct. Because I purchased this alcohol at a point where you're allowing me then to enter with drinks. The people on the train said, which Mombasa? Not going. This guy did nothing wrong. We are not going. It's either he goes with us, we leave him alone, or all of us, we are not going. So which one is it going to be? Kenyan said never. In the face of injustice, Kenyans stood and said, no, we will not allow this to happen. So you're right. What happens when trillions of your money is backed up in debt? Trillions towards development that didn't happen, but somehow we don't make the connection that this is the same thing, the same behavior that was not allowing this man on a train or the person in the matatu. It is the same thing that
and
takes your taxes.
That should really be the spirit, solidarity. That when we have no running water in our communities, that we stop things when the roads are not working. Don't just repair the one that gets you into your gate. Organize and stop, the community to stop, mechanisms that will ensure that the people who are supposed to therefore repair those roads, repair them. If our health facilities are not working, let's storm in and then move and ensure that the right things are done. I like that spirit, and it has to be the spirit of the nation, of the spirit of the state.
That's the state of So maybe the guys who are doing the address this morning, hawajamaliza ones, they're still finishing touches.
We
maybe we are giving them.
Want to skize.
Joe, you want to look into the nation?
Yes. the Daily Nation talks about basically the same thing, promises versus reality. I think everybody is aware that whatever is being portrayed by the government is really not what is happening. So they try to give they're trying to compare. There is a promise, what was promised, like in the health sector, implement universal health coverage, ensure equitable access, reduce corruption, and improve efficiency. That was the promise. The current status, that SHA debt crisis is at 76 billion, continues to persist. The RUPA, the Rural Urban Private Hospital Association hospitals are all 15 billion, and they're still expected to operate. Many have abandoned SHA. So if you go to that kind of hospital, even though you're SHA subscribed or SHAnized, you may not. You just remember you're not covered. So the healthcare remains expensive despite more registered health facilities. So a lot of promises were made in the agriculture sector, in the finance, and also the education. But we have 87,000 ghost students.
Again.
Oburu, I think the ODM wrangles are still ongoing. He says why he had fears of post-Raila family fallout. We see how that develops. I think they also may want to separate the politics from family.
Yeah, I think that was necessary to do. In Mombasa, when we did hear Junior Odinga say "my uncle," and it became a thing because once you say that, that means that you're injecting family into this political thing, which I think Junet Mohammed quickly came in and this is the thing about, there was so much nuance and innuendo in what people said after. And if you're smart is when you hear exactly what they're saying. Essentially, he's your uncle, but he's not our uncle. This is a political part. Kind
Many
of thing.
of us involved.
Yes.
And page 6 of the Daily Nation speaks of a very key issue. State weaponized digital platforms to quell protests. It's talking about online harassment, trolling armies, unlawful surveillance, internet shutdowns, mobile phone tracking, and coordinated smear campaigns were part of state-sanctioned strategies used to weaponize Kenya's digital infrastructure during the 2024 and 2025 Gen Z protests. A new report says. So there's a bit of gagging on the voice of dissent. People are not allowed to state. Today we are stating.
Yeah, stating.
And today we are stating. So it appears that the state is trying to get in the way of people stating what they should be about our nation, because we only have one Kenya. So basically the highlights from the Daily Nation, and we see how the stories develop.
And we hope, Joe, that there shall be no shutdowns of internet.
Yes.
Particularly as we approach the political season. In one of our neighboring countries, we saw a similar thing seemingly happening.
Indeed.
And so as we talk about digital platforms against youth employment as part of the spaces that young people have, to give themselves jobs, we hope that there is going to be a revamped engagement that does not stifle the voices.
We hope.
We hope.
Yes.
You want to look at the star quick?
State of the nation. May I please have the star? I have no copy of the star. Thank you
there
very
you go.
much.
All right.
Okay, so on the star today, the Cold War between Raila Oburu families. Stop fighting me. I didn't campaign to be party leader. So that is Oburu asking not to be fought. And so we have, for instance, page 4 and 5 talking about the same story. Inside Cold War between Raila and Oburu families, and a fresh power tussle appears to be brewing in the ODM hierarchy, with simmering tensions between party leader Oburu Oginga and his late brother Raila Odinga's family over the party's direction. The rift spilled into the open after Raila's daughter Winnie fired a warning shot last week, claiming some people wanted to sell the party at night, a remark widely interpreted as targeting senior party officials. So ODM at 20, the rift, the Cold War between the families, etc. On the same headline of the Star, IEBC fines Kasipul candidates 1 million each. And this is meant to instill discipline, and they are saying IEBC Electoral Code of Conduct Enforcement Committee Chairperson Alutalala Mukwana with other commissioners during the ruling of the hearing for Kasipul constituency by-election at Anniversary Towers, Nairobi. That was yesterday. So there is a photo there that has the commissioner and the candidates, right? Kasipul constituency by-elections candidates, Philip Aroko, who is running as an independent candidate, and Boyd Were running on the ODM ticket. On this story on page 2 talks about cash crime and chaos. So cash, crime, and chaos. The chilling case of Willis Ayeko.
Yeah.
And page 2, therefore, of course, gives us the story about a witness who is testifying on how the man used an ID of murder victim to withdraw cash. Court hearing, of course, chilling details of Willis Ayeko's murder case. There's a gentleman who was an officer of one of our companies who was murdered. So on the Star page 2, we have the story there. Moving on, of course, is page 4 and 5, still on ODM. And then on page 7, we have Senator Simon Mudavadi over state of silence on Kenyans suffering abroad. A big story, therefore.
Yeah.
And lawmakers have expressed outrage over what they termed reluctance to intervene when citizens are killed. Ndu, what is patriotism?
Oh, my Lord. Well, this is it. Country over everything.
Yeah.
Man for country over everything. That's what patriotism is.
And I wonder because in some countries, and we'll be talking about Singapore, I am told that in certain countries, it is hard to find a citizen of an X country suffering in another Y country, and the country's leadership is silent.
Well, I mean, that's why you have the United States came up with the Patriot Act just for that.
Precisely.
An American did whatever they did wherever, bring them home first.
Yeah.
Let's deal with them at home.
Yeah, once
we
they're
are not
here.
giving you to Patriot.
Yeah.
So you're saying those countries don't have Mudavadi as their CS for...
Oh, yeah, they do not have...
Just checking.
A one like Mudavadi.
Okay.
And so here on page 7, you get the story. Foreign Affairs Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has been summoned by senators who accuse the government of maintaining a loud silence, in quotation marks, as Kenyans endure suffering, torture, and mistreatment abroad. So during this heated debate in the Senate, lawmakers expressed outrage over what they termed the state's reluctance to intervene when Kenyans are killed, arrested, or mistreated abroad. But thank God, Bob Njagi and Nikoyo are back.
We do thank God for that.
Yeah.
I want to look into one story quickly before we get to the top of it. It's actually in the Star. It's on page 2 of the Star. A couple who lived together 24 years were not married, rules the court. A man and woman who lived together for 28 years, during which they gave birth to 5 children, were never legally married, according to the Court of Appeal, and it has upheld that ruling. In a judgment delivered on the 7th of November, Court of Appeal judges Francis Tuyot, Lydia Achode, and Agri Muchalule ruled that cohabiting only gives an assumption of marriage but cannot transform a relationship into a marriage. The judges made the ruling in a case where a man had sued his partner for selling their matrimonial land without his knowledge. Court documents show that the man's relationship with the woman began in 1980 and they cohabited from around 1982, having 5 children together, although only one survived. However, at the Environment and Land Court in Malindi, the judge concluded the couple were not legally married because no dowry was paid and there was no marriage certificate for their union. Aggrieved, the man approached the Court of Appeal seeking to quash the judgment. He claimed to have bought the land in question. Having provided the funds for its purchase, he alleged to have paid 197,000 shillings out of the full purchase of 200,000. However, the title deed was registered in the name of the woman. So now he would say, the title deed is the name of the woman. But because we have been married, then I should also have access to it. Judge said...
and I gave the money. I gave the 197 out of the 200,000.
I think
Judge said, no, it's in the name of the woman. But you remember the law is clear.
Yeah.
There's no marriage certificate. Nobody saw evidence of a cow or 2 passing through somewhere.
Yeah.
Or you did not go to some Sharia house somewhere before.
Cousins did not sit.
Cousins did not sit. Yeah. Uncle did not drink palm wine because he brought. So go and marry. All of you who are sitting saying that we are living together and we are married, judge has said go and marry.
But then it's interesting. Joe, before you come in, I was passing through Harambee House yesterday morning, and just around Sharia House, I saw a group of people who are going to get married. And so some of the ladies were dressed in very nice, wedding attire. And in the group, there was this Kamuzungu gentleman who kept smiling and he looked really excited. So I reached out and I was like, wow, how are you? What brings you to Kenya? So he was like, yeah, we are here to get married. I was like, no wedding, no nothing. They said, no, this is what it is.
Paper.
And he said, yeah. So the wedding can stay. All these other ceremonies can do. But we are here for the document. And I thought that was really the meaning of marriage.
There is
so all of us men post yesterday, Joe, kama hauna karatasi.
I agree, but the Marriage Act, we may want to interrogate it. It had some pronunciation that became, I think, the latest.
Yeah.
But if you cohabit for, I think, about 7 years or thereabout, you are deemed to 6 months, maybe even living
But
in.
they came later and amended it because of this kind of
That's
thing.
what I'm saying. We need to interrogate it so that people can be well aligned. You hear that family, they had 5 kids, although he's only one who is surviving.
Years.
So that qualifies to be a family of some sort. 24 years is a long time. Unfortunately,
somebody should have mentioned, like I said, paper should have passed. A cow or even a cow's cousin should have passed.
People should have
somewhere.
sat.
People should have sat and broken kola nuts on top of your head. If not,
but really,
you are
what
not married.
If you look at the African traditional and the cultural meaning of marriage against the expectations of government, I think it is important that we are able to merge the paper and the cultural expectations.
True. There must be a merging of the two. And that takes us to 2 minutes past 7, time for the news with Mr. Lesamira. We'll be back after this.
Amazing.
The latest news from around the world. 94.4 Spice FM.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.